Since the existence of this world, stories have been told about places where mysterious and paranormal events have occurred. We have compiled these places, some of which have been experienced and some of which are just rumors. Here are those places in Turkey with the chilling story. This is Davutlu village, Karadedeler incident. Davutlu in the Lüleburgaz district of Kırklareli. It is highly likely that you have heard of the Karadedeler incident, which is claimed to have happened in the village. According to the rumor, on one day in 1989, the villagers started to see demonic beings after dark. After that day, the village people did not step out of the house for a certain period of time. When this incident was published in the newspapers, a journalist went to the village to find out the truth. Journalist HB. He would interview the villagers and claim to see beings in everyone. However, after 11 days of coming across something extraordinary, the journalist leaves his camera to a 14-year-old boy and leaves the village. If something paranormal happens, the child will record it. 3 days later, HP is taken into custody by the gendarmes. 7 people are in 3 separate houses in the village. She was killed by dismemberment, including the child to whom she gave the camera. In February 1989, the midwife's clothes and notebook were found in a forest. She was never heard from again. Hey, if this is the questioning Jan, she got depressed and committed suicide years later. This incident was even the subject of a movie. Is this it? Zeyrek Mosque, Istanbul, Fatih Molla. Zeyrek Mosque, located in Istanbul, was created when a church was converted into a mosque after the conquest of Istanbul. There are many spooky rumors about the street overlooking the land that is now a park area. People living in the area say that the park area used to be a stable area. There was a spooky well inside the barn. There was a cellar underneath. It is claimed that those who leave their animals in the barn are afraid to go there in the evenings. The reason for this is that they hear screams. There are also rumors that the cellars under the barn are home to whole animals. There are people who say that they still hear screams from the area that is a park today. The deserted Friday Cemetery is in the Yenice district of Çanakkale. The mysterious events that are said to have taken place in the deserted Cuma Mosque Cemetery, located between the villages of Sevan and Çakırova, are chilling. The cemetery in the mosque courtyard, which was called deserted because there was no other building around the mosque built in 1335, contained separate graves of a mother and her baby who were buried in the 680-year-old cemetery. Hatis, who gave birth to a baby girl 52 years ago, died shortly after birth. The little baby named Aze, who passed away 20 days after birth, was buried in the cemetery where her mother was. A few days later, her relatives who visited her saw the 2 graves joined together. The family members who separated the graves saw that the graves were united again during the next visit. After this event was repeated several times, the relatives decided to leave the graves of the mother and daughter as they were. Neither those who visited were shocked by this interesting event. This event was mentioned in the movie Sikin 2 by Yusuf Ziya. In addition to the news of the head of the Pasha mansion, Yusuf Ziya Pasha, a very rich merchant, wants to have a mansion built in this Rumeli Hisari, similar to the castles in fairy tales. Rumor has it that he is so jealous that he doesn't want anyone to see his beautiful wife. This mansion should also be at a level that suits his wife's beauty. The construction could not be completed due to the outbreak of the First World War and Yusuf Ziya Pasha's economic difficulties. When his wife betrayed him, he was heartbroken and did not want the mansion to be completed. For years, people living around the mansion heard a long-haired young woman walking around on the empty floors of the mansion at night. They stated that in the 1990s, workers working in the construction of the mansion saw in the mirrors the ghost of a woman dressed in old clothes. and even claimed that they heard her playing the piano. Nowadays, it is used as we and is still referred to as T-Bu. Female students perform some Satanist rituals with candles around midnight. The students staying on the top floor of apartment building number 129 died mysteriously in their apartment that night. According to the residents of the apartment, there was a severe earthquake on the night they died, and items were thrown left and right in the apartment, and windows were broken. Following this incident, the apartment building, it is abandoned immediately. Later, those who dare to go inside say that they hear smells that are difficult to describe and that they see the windows breaking on their own. Residents of Kazakh village in Arguvan district of Malatya sacrifice for fish that they consider sacred, and when they die, they are buried in the village cemetery accompanied by prayers. Yes, you heard right, fish. Sacrifices are sacrificed for the fish, and those fish are buried with a ceremony when they die. The fish fed in the pools, where the water source is located in the village, which was founded 700 years ago, bring healing to the sick and wish children to those who do not have children. The story of fish being considered sacred is also interesting. At one time, the village headman took the fish from the source, which was also used as drinking water. After that, the son of the headman, his daughter, his wife, and himself died in one day, and there was no one left from his family. After this incident, fish appeared again. Thus, over time, fish became sacred for the village people who believed in their mystery. If you go from Kuzgunku towards Beylerbey, the Cemil Molla mansion is on the right, just before entering the tunnel. The restored version of the Yapi Cemil Molla mansion this summer is quite fascinating. However, in a slightly different sense. In the past, people were afraid to even drive past it. The 130-year-old mansion, built by Mahmut Cemil Efendi in 1885, has been restored for years. The reason for this is that the mansion was haunted. It was shown that the workers left their jobs and ran away within a few days. And according to the story of Sakarya Diary in 1921, when unexplained events started in a village, 117 households fled from the village. It was claimed that the village was raided by demonic beings. The reason is that it means defender in Arabic. The story in question is decorated in the movie Azim. This is the mysterious cave in Havran. This cave is one of the places that are the subject of the most spooky stories in our country. It draws attention with its size. It is said that the cave is surrounded by human bones. The sheep that enter come out again. I put it, if there is a shepherd who follows it, they say that the caves in the region called Kayatepe, at the foothills of Madra mountain in the villages of Dereören and Handashlar, are mysterious, and that he does not pass through the area where the caves are located, even while grazing his animals. It is a complete mystery what is inside. It is a complete mystery what is inside the Yedikul dungeons. According to agonism, people who do evil to ministers are considered cursed. It is a legend that has been going on for years, where the soul of a woman who was unfairly tortured in the dungeon wanders. This place, called Yedikule Dungeons, is a market where people were unfairly tortured and sentenced to death. It is believed that she is waiting in the dungeon. In case I forget, we have come to the end of our video. You can express your opinions on the subject in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.